Good evening guys, welcome to the flight this evening. As with Avianca, and we're going to be taking a flight from Colombia down into Lima. So it should be a nice flight. Got a flight time around 2.5 hours, so not too long. Got some music for you guys as well. Do go up and get the aircraft all ready to go. So don't forget to like and subscribe guys if you comments down below. And now we're getting to start the aircraft up, but ready to depart out of Colombia today. As you can see, we've got the lovely Avianca as we fly this 200 out. So let's get inside the aircraft and start the aircraft up. So here we are in the 757-200. Put in a few of the mods. As an RDM mod which sort of changes the texture colour. Let's put some of the colours back in on the reserve gauges as well, which isn't too bad. So I've got one of the checklists. I haven't got the proper checklist that I used to use when I used to fly the 757, but I've got something that will kind of do, and it's kind of the same anyway. So alright, let's just go in and make sure on the aircraft got everything all on and ready to go. Get the GPU in and get that in. It's probably because we've got their pushback. Anyways, we'll get the APU all started, get ready to go. So go overhead now, get the battery on, which will be checked. Standby power can be auto, which will also be set and checked. Landing gear levers down, electrical power is established. Bus tie switches can go to auto, which is also set. I'm going to get the APU started up. There's already got the weight and everything coming out around 96 tons on our gross weight. So let's get the APU all started up and get the IRS mode selected, which can go to a line. We'll get them aligned once the APU comes up and running. We'll get the APU general as we get ready to go. So on the emergency lights, get the engine limiter switches and get the EECs as well. Put the yaw dampers on for after the IRS are aligned. Get it closed. Get the engine hydraulics on. Get the electrics on as well, which will be set. From there we get the one pump in for the APU. Put the engine starts to both with auto and get our cabin pressures, and we get the window heats all set. there's the APU coming over. Get everything all set and ready for us to go. So coming down, we've got auto rate 1, but the auto rate is auto, which will be set coming down for the airport's elevation. As you see, that's with the Reshade. So coming in with the Reshade, we'll go and get the elevation up as we're checking on the charts. So coming down in for the runway, we're going to be doing the ILS Zulu, runway 15, elevation is 113. So we'll leave it at 110, which will be set. Get the trim air on now with the reset, so we can get the packs which can go to auto. The isolation valve can be opened with the APU as well, which will be checked. So we'll go in and get all our panel lights. Just going to put some of the lights on there. We'll go into the FMC, get the IRSs aligned as well. They should be on quick align. They should be also ready to go. As we leave out 7 minutes, see if we can get the faster lining. I'm not sure if it is in here. If not, we're going to be waiting around. Should be on realistic time. Over 2. Be on the effects. So it might go quick. So it is on faster line. There we go. As it's jumped up. Elton, George, my man. Good evening, pal. It's Con. Good evening also. Hope you're all doing well this evening. As we're here ready to leave Colombia. Get the aircraft all ready to go. So George, welcome to the channel, my friend. So as we get the aircraft ready, the IRSs should be already pushing, so we're going to get the IRS position all in. So we're going to the position. Coming out of Colombia, we've got Sierra Kilo Bravo Oscar. Okay, which is in. We've got lefts and rights. I'm just going to shove it in straight from here. Should be set. Going over into our route, coming in for landing, we've got Sierra Papa Juliet Charlie. And on our routing, we're going to be departing out of runway 31 right. And we're going to be taking the Camis to Charlie, which is right here. From Camis, we're then going to roll it down as we leave. We're going to take the Whiskey 16, which is going to take us down to Gur. From Gur, we're then going to take Uniform Lima 305, which will take us to TAP. Get the VORs automatically anyway, because the navs for the VORs will be in auto. From TAP, we're going to Ilerol, which is going to be the start of our arrival. We're going to be coming in for the Ilerol 4. That's going to leave us down for the ILS Zulu 415, and we'll be transitioning for Lugos. So if we have a look on the arrival chart, we can see that once we come in, we're going to come in from Ilerol 230 above. As we fly it down, then above 180 to 25 below, we'll get down to Kayla, where we're then going to follow it all the way down. We're going to get to Lobos, and then from Lobos, as we can see here, we'll then come down our initial approach fix, which will then bring us down to 1700 feet, which will be 5.2 DME from the localizer. So that's the departure, the arrival, sorry. On the departure out, we'll be taking out the 314, we'll take a left to the 263, and then we'll cut off, ready to come down to Camis for below 16,000 feet. So that is the departure, that's the arrival. It should be ready to go. And so, good evening, my man. Hope you're doing well, pal. Having a great evening. Ready for the flight this evening. So that's the flight plan all set. We've got that in. We can activate that up. We'll go into the path. We'll get everything here. So On for our fuel, we've got 14.6 as we put extra, so we've got 2.3 as reserves. Cruising altitude coming out is going to be, oh no, it's not going to be 240, we'll go up for 330, see if we can get it. Cost index is going to be 35. As we're going for takeoff, take flaps 5, we could have done the temperatures and all that, but I just didn't have time to do it. So we'll get the ASUS quickly for the runway winds. Coming out on the departure 280.06. And we just checked. Acceleration height will be 1,000 feet. As we leave out on the temperature will be -7. So on for our speeds 139.145 and above 51 for V2. 151 is in. We'll get the flight directors which will be set. We'll get the auto brake set to RTO. Auto throttle can be armed. They'll go to auto once everything's up and set. We're going to be leaving out onto 314 which we checked. And we're going up below 16,000 feet to start with until we get to Camels. So that should be all good for us today. So we've got utility buses on, gen controls, everything can now get set up as we get ready to leave. We've got the engine limiters which are on, and the aircraft is pretty much ready to go now. So we get no smokings and seatbelt signs to go on, window heats can go on as well, which are set. And now we can go to our before start checklist and get the aircraft ready to leave out of Colombia today. So as we get the checklist up now, we can also go ahead and call the tug, as he should be good for us to go. So let's go and set everything in. We'll get the map on, should be set. We're going to practically leave out and then take a left-hand turn when we leave out the airport. So you can see there's our left-hand turn all the way down as we leave out. So call the tug and we'll get ready to push back.
Ground to Cockpit, please show me where you want to go. Ground to Cockpit, Tau is driving up.
Okay, so Tug's now driving up, so you can tell we're ground handling to leave now. It should start getting going. So the passenger bus is leaving, everyone's clearing off. So as we've got everything all set, we can now start shutting all the doors. Pushback truck in operation, so all our doors shut now. Move all which should be set.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed, ready to connect.
Okay, so it's ready to connect now. The pushback's coming. Over onto our departure chart. See what we've got in Bogota, which is 1139. From there, we'll be taking it out onto 219. Okay, that's just set.
Tau connected and bypass being inserted. Release parking brake.
Okay, parking brake released.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Okay, so let's get our engine display up as well. I just want to check something on the fuel side. Okay, just fine. So as we go over now, we go with our fuel pumps on, which are checked. We can turn the packs off, which are also set. Passenger signs are also checked. Got our takeoff speeds, which are set and checked. Packs are off. Engine start, we'll go for engine number 2, and we should be all ready to go. So we'll get all the bleeds on. We'll now switch on for engine number 2. Okay, so you can see now N2 slowly starting to increase. Oil pressure's come to life. And at 20% or 18-20%, something like that, N2 can inject fuel and we get the aircraft ready to go. So we'll lift on now for engine number 2, I'm going to run it in, otherwise it can turn off by accident. Also put some wing textures for the 757 in as well, and there's I'm not sure if it changed the fan blades. It used to be gold, the spinner in the middle. That'd be something else to check. So engine number 2 now has very much come to life. We'll go overhead now, go for engine number 1. Again we can see N2 increasing, oil pressure's coming to life. 18-20% with inject fuel, and we'll light the aircraft up, ready for to go. So, getting engine number 1 now, so it's a run.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
Definitely going to do it, my man. Hopefully we can get a nice butter in the 757.
Disconnecting tow. Standby.
Okay, it's connecting tow, standby. There's the bus is switched over now. So we can go to our before taxi checklist. So we'll go overhead now, he's going to drop us down. We get the packs back on, which can go to auto, which will be set. We can have them off until after departure. We'll take the packs, which will go back on to auto, which will be set. The isolation valve can go off, which will be checked. APU selector can also go off, which will be set and checked. Ground equipment clear. Flaps set for takeoff, which will be flaps 5. Flight controls checked. Stay at CCAS. So if we go and get our centre of gravity as well. Okay, you can see 33.
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. And signal on the right. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
Too soon, bye. So we get the trim down in, 3 on the trim, which is set. Got our weather radar as well, along with our terrain, which we'll get set in. So we can see that we've got some terrain around, so we can get our terrain on for the time being. And then as we climb out, we'll then turn on the weather and see what it has for us as well. So before taxi checklist is pretty much complete. Transponder, which we can set, we'll put it to TA, which will be checked, and we've got a 1139 for the 219 coming out. Our controls are free and correct. So there's only one thing left to do, that is we'll bring the controls over and we'll get ready to taxi out to runway 31 right. 31 right is literally right next to us as we leave out. So we're pretty much just going to go down to the end and then fling it in, ready to go. So let's get the airport's taxi chart. We're pretty much going down to the end anyway, not going too far. There we got Sierra Kilo Bravo Oscar. If we go down and get the airport. There we go. So we'll check out the airport. So we're pretty much going to come out, we'll just roll down onto Alpha and then get down onto 31 right. So come out, take the second left, second right, and then we'll be on our way to go. So what we can do is we can release the parking brake and we start to power up now to runway 31 right. Temperature's 13, so we don't need any anti-ice as we get ready to leave off. Get the landing lights full bright, which will be set. Flight door can be denied now, which will be set. Everything else I'm just going to leave until we get out onto the taxiway. So we can power on up now. We'll get down onto 3-1 right. That's great, little man. I hope you have a nice arrival. So we're going to take second right. And we'll lead out onto Alpha. As we're going to come out, we'll arm LNAV. That'll come on after 400 feet. We're leaving out on the 314 anyway, so we can pre-arm the LNAV, which will be set. I'll takeoff on the PFD as well, which is set ready for when we go into Toga. Could have used the sim toolkit to have got our landing takeoff performance, but just didn't have time. But if we do take the 757 out again, I will make sure to use that, because then we can use that on the takeoff calculations as well, as we're just going to take full takeoff as we come out. So yeah, it's pretty much going to be one of them ones. We've got the weight for the climb as well, so coming around about 95 tons. We'll be travelling down Alpha now as we go down to runway 3-1 right. So we've got the 757 without the winglets with the Avianca, as you see. Weather seems to be alright down here in Colombia, but coming down into Lima is overcast, I think around 1600 feet. So we'll have an overcast, and the sun should start to be just coming down, so we should have a nice amber glow onto that arrival and get the landing lights to glow through them clouds. So, you know, my man, good evening, pal. Hope you're having a great evening, just in time for the departure. So we're 151 set for V2, 314, 16,000 below until we get to Camis. Also got in the Bolivar VOR, as you can see, is in 139, and let's set down to 219 from the left turn once we take off out of runway 31 right. So we are pretty much just in here. So we'll get to our full takeoff checklist. On the takeoff checklist, literally takeoff briefing has been reviewed, so we have reviewed the takeoff briefing. We're going to be leaving out as we pass through. I think I got rid of it, but pretty much we're going to be making a left-hand turn out of the runway, and then once we go back from the 314, we're going on to the 263, which will then take us down to the 219, which we've got it ready to intercept from the VOR. So we'll take the last one so we can get a nice run up out of 3-1 right. And we get the aircraft all set now, ready for departure. So test the recall, which is clear. Also brake is RTO. And as you can see, RTO, which is checked. Engines can now go off. As you believe the engines. So we'll take the last one now, and then we'll line up for the runway and get the hell out of there. Got the terrain on, down the navigational display. So it is really overcasty down in Lima right now. You guys can check the METARs as well whilst we're down cruising over to there. So it should be quite a scenic one when we come down. Change the textures of the 757. As you can see, they're a little bit more richer in colour, more like a hazily brown. So we just passed over Hold Short. So we can put our runway turn off sign, which can be checked. So we get everything on here, logo gone as well. Why not? So as we now line up onto the runway, everything's all clear. So cabin crew, take your seats for departure. So we're going to blast out nice and hot in the 757-200. Get a Q&H's as well, just brief before we do come in. So we'll line up. Q&H's 1026. So I'm just going to park it here. That'll be fine for us right now. So we get the Q&H's. Sierra Kilo Bravo Oscar. Q&H 1026, so we'll set that quickly. Set the reserve as well. 1026. And we get 1026 in as well. You can see it. So put the glare in that on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. Okay. Parking brake, which is set. Oh, now it's armed, so we can go in and get the landing lights, which are all on and set. So without further ado, guys, let's get this aircraft up in the air, ready to go down to Lima. So, can release parking brake. Powering up to around 40%. Okay. Now I forgot where the toggle button was. Doesn't matter, we'll full power it out. Okay, so we'll toggle it now. We're going up for 1.7. Didn't model a toggle button, but for some reason it's not working. So airspeed's alive. Full pressure on the yoke. So it's just now pitched down just a little as we pass through. So we really are going through 10,000 already. As we're staying on around V2 speed. We're going to go into that left-hand turn as we rise up. So I'm just pitching down to the aircraft and just catch a bit of speed as we are heavy. Passing through 170 on our speed now. As we rise up and away, so runway turn-offs can go off. Checked. As we get ready to go into that left-hand turn, climbing very, very slowly. 181, which is it. Looking at flaps 1 in. Turn-offs at 267. It's around the 267. So that's our legs, so we've got 263. Set. So passing through, goes on flaps up now, 263. That's our left hand turn. Passing through 11,002. Flaps are fully retracted. Those make this left hand turn out the runway. Stay forward, 250, 270, reset. So there's 263, which will be in, and we'll follow it, we'll stay for 250. Let's come down 2001. Don't just hold out now for 250, so the flight director is going to start to come back up. It's been below 16,000 as we carry. Turn, which takes off to 219. I don't know why we're so low. Okay, let's fly and change. Which will take us up. Go up to 16,000. 219 will be next. And it's set. Let's come down before it'll be a while. So we'll speed up now past 250. Again, start to get the aircraft ready to go. So the aircraft's basically pitching down to go in, so we'll leave VNAV in, so it's pitching down to go to its climb speed, put the autopilot in as well. So we'll go down, we'll get ready to go, so there's VNAV path, the aircraft's going to pitch down just a little to get its speed, and it's going to rocket straight back up, so we can take that left hand turn now, so 219. So as the weather does its test, you can then wait for it to do that, as we're now at 14,000, holding out on VNAV, 16,000 below, and then Toa for 17.1 rise up, so I wonder whether it's deciding to do its test now. Probably should have done it. Go now for 16,000 and punch that in for 3.3 now. Continue with the descent up. There's Camis with 16,000 below. There's Camis right there, which is passing through 15,002. As we ascend up on the cruise, we'll be at Mark Decimal 79330. What's going on there? It's a little glitchy for some reason. 16,000 below. Do not have a clue what it's trying to do right now. I'm going to intercept before it does do it. So I don't know what the aircraft's doing for some reason. Doing some madness. See it go glitchy all of a sudden, start flickering everywhere, so I don't know why that happened. 16,000 below, 18,000. You see that, something the lift gone, just leaving out. So as we pass 10,000 feet with landing lights which can go off and checked. There's a lovely view outside, see what views we've got. Some nice views coming up over here, coming through. Which is in, I don't know why the VNAV decided to do that. As you can see, it's glitching out for some reason. Try it again. It's going to be 16,000 below, so Ross is going to be onto the 242. So wait till it goes past Camis and then we'll re-engage the VNAV. We'll see what that effect it does. That will be aircraft. The engine anti-ice now as well. Should be set. Passing from Camis, we're going to go to the 242. Okay, which is set. Camis, can put a VNAV back on. That keeps on. It's dropping now to try and capture the speed, and hopefully it does go up to 330. I couldn't tell you why it's glitching like that for some reason. So we are back in now. Got VNAV speed in, we're up to VNAV path, just a short moment this time. As we now lift, ready to go on to the climb up now with that now climb speed, so we're going to 330 as we rise up and go runway down, passing now Gur, we're going to move from the 242 down to the 197. Okay, which is set as we make our way now to the Lima. So some tunes on this wing view, lovely views, and we can cruise on down to lovely Puru on this lovely day today. lowering down until just so, because obviously it's below us, so lower it down most to, so we'll just fill in the gaps. And as you can see, there's some weather for us underneath as we fly above, so let's hope it doesn't get rocky as we get ready to come in. My man, good evening, pal. Hope you're having a great evening. Welcome to the stream. We're now in our cruise phase, ready to come down to Lima today. Thanks for the suggestions, though. Really do appreciate it, man. Still going to start getting some more scenic approaches with the X-Enviro, etc. So that'd be really good to have on board. So thank you for putting that down there. We'll definitely look Buenos Aires. That'd be a nice area to fly into. Definitely, 100%. There's the turbulence. There we go, let's bring that down just a little. So, there is the rocker turbulence. Captain Sean, good evening, my man. Hope you've been well, pal. Hope the fly's been going good for you too. So, seeing as we've got turbulence, we better put the fasten seatbelts back on. Tell everybody to get back to your seats as you're about to get your drink spilled. Yeah, defo Ethan, defo. We'll be doing some flights in Europe very soon. As you see that wicked turbulence kicking in on our way down. But yeah, we'll be doing some more flights down in Europe, 100%. That's mainly where I fly anyway. It would be nice to go to the US and do a lot more flights over there too, as there are some nice scenic areas. The orthos are actually really, really good to use down there. Definitely, my man, definitely. Looking like a good old little bump. So you can see on the weather, which is below us, it's not looking very nice. We might pick up just a little bit of it, we might not, as we now fly down towards. We are currently heading in on the legs. We've got Nurbu in, which is currently 57 nautical miles. sure. Thanks for man. I appreciate it, pal. St. Martin's Defo, that is a really nice airport, sorry, to come down into. I think we did it about a month ago, come down into St. Martin's. Nice approach. Been doing recently like sort of island approaches down on little islands down over in the hot weather. Haven't been to big massive airports as of yet, here and there, but I want to discover some of the airports that are on scheduled routes, but you just wouldn't ever know unless you actually flew them, etc. So that's why we've been sort of doing different flights, different routes, and checking up on the real route finder, etc. Flights to fly that are real world routes. Might get the aircraft wrong, but if the 800's got it, we got the livery, vice versa to a 757, then we will jump into it and we'll do it. A Vega is a nice approach. You come down on the VOR approach, come straight in between two mountains. We've got a video down on the channel as well. You come down in between two mountains, and then you disconnect, fly down visually, and then come in. When we did it, we had the runway slope on, so it was quite a big deviation in height. So haven't gone back there and turned it off. Probably a lot different, as the runway does slope up a little bit, but nothing to the extent that they tried to give us that day. So we'll just pass over now some lovely mountain tops on our way leaving Colombia down to lovely Lima. Further down in Lima right now, we have a look and check. So the METAR down in the runway is currently standing 17 on the temperature, 1015 on the Q&A, which visibility 10 meters, kilometers or more. We've got overcast at 1200 feet now, so visibility dropped. The cloud load dropped from 19 to 12 now. On our winds 21006. Overcast at 12, 17, dew point 13, no significant change. Bird hazard runway 15. So I thought we'd be here tonight, do this flight. As I did say that we would do this, I was meant to do this on Wednesday, but when I said it was a 3-hour flight, which I didn't realise, I thought, well, we'll do this for Friday, as we will fly this, and you guys can be here with us when we do. So far the PC's been holding out. With all the settings that we run, need to get a RAM upgrade, overclocked into 3000 megahertz, because it was a 2666. I'm looking to get 3600. So overclocked to 3000 megahertz for now, which is just slightly improved with the paging, etc., like the data that it uses. But apart from that, we shouldn't have any lockups tonight on our way down. So enjoy the flight, guys. I'll be here as we roll down to Lima this evening. So overcast, sun should just start to be set when we come down for the arrival. The overcast landing lights, they should definitely fire through the clouds with the X-Enviro, so that'll give us something else to look forward to tonight. One thing I've noticed that the FlightFactor have actually done with the aircraft in recent updates, as I hadn't flown it for a really long time. When I updated it last month, I did notice that they have fixed the wing flex. The wing flex is a lot more sort of bouncy, flimsy, like if you got a ruler and sort of flexed it. It does have that more realistic flex to it. Because before you wouldn't be able to put the wing flex up just a few bars and it'll be well over enough. Whereas now, that's up halfway, something like that, and it's not too bad. It's quite nice. Hope you guys are all having a great evening and enjoying your evening so far as we are on our way to Peru. I was trying to get the Aero Peru livery, but they didn't have it on the forums, so I just had to make do and found a Avianca package which has 4 special custom liveries. Avianca 2, Avianca Colombia's one, red and grey, which we're flying right now, which I'll just go outside so you guys can see. So flight time, we have been in the air for nearly an hour now, as we're now just flying through Nubu as we're going to leave 196 now to Puru. Off of Puru, if we go on to the charts of a sim brief, we can see what our estimated fuel burn was. So let's have a look and check that out as well. So to check out on a fuel. So by the time we get to the airport we'll have 7.6. Currently right now, by the time we get to Terrace it'll be 10.3. Distance to go to Puru is 91, so we've got 832 miles to go. She does look really nice, doesn't she, Ethan? Definitely. That Avianca is a really nice Avianca livery with the red and grey. I think the only time I ever saw that livery was with air crash investigation when an Avianca came down. I think it was 707 that was flying with that livery. I think that's the only time that I've actually seen that livery myself. So I thought, yeah, it looks really nice with the grey underbelly as well. So why not take it for a spin as we rock out. So as we are all ready to leave, there's our terrain, there's our weather. Let's keep the weather on. So 16 knot tailwind so far, as we fly all the way down to lovely Colombia today. Hope you guys all are having an amazing evening. RJ, my man, good evening pal. Welcome to the flight tonight. Hope you're having a great evening too, mate. As we now take our route down to lovely Lima. I'll show you guys the arrival now, as we don't balloon up everything on a madness. Right, so let's slow that down. So I'll take it on board so you guys can hear a bit more. So once we come in, we're going to come in for the Ortho4 RNAV arrival for runway 15. We're going to basically get to Erlo for 230 above. Once we get to 230 above, we'll follow the 197 all the way down 10 nautical miles, 23 down from the Juliet Sierra's 603, was Juliet Charlie. The above flight level 140 down to 10,000 for Kalar max 250. Once we get to Vaughan, it's going to be max 230, 4,000 above, and in between 4,000 and 2,100 by the time we get to Lobos, which is going to be the start of our arrival. That's going to be our initial approach fix, which will be currently, as we can see, 16.1 from the Juliet Sierra Lima. So Juliet Sierra Lima, as we can see for the VOR, that's where the start of Lobos is. once we start to come down, 5.2 DME from the localizer from 2001 will then come down, and that's where the glide slope is going to start for the 155. So what I also want to do as well, I'm going to see if I can alter up the FMC on the legs page so we can get all of this in. Let's have a look and make sure that we've got everything in for the arrival. So once coming down to Urlo 230 below, above, sorry, which is there. Then we've got 25, so we can change that out. 140 above. As we get to the Juliet Charlie 603, which is there. As we follow it down to Kalar 10,000 above, which is there as well. 279, max 250 for Kalar, so everything's all there. We can change that. Let's see what we do. That's the separation distance, Juliet Charlie 601 to there, it's currently 12. So I'll just say we go down to 0. That won't then start interfering with the descent. That is, my man, we did put in the texture mod, and it did actually work. For some reason it was only working on the 300, not 300, it was only working on the PFDS upgrade version. I couldn't get, for some reason on the standard gauges like this, it wasn't working in the cockpit. But it is actually working. Changed up the. We put in a wing texture. I'm not sure if it really did much. Let's have a look. Yeah, the cockpit texture mod, it's not bad. It's not bad. It's got that nice hazily brown colour to it. It's more vibrant than the original cockpit display from FlightFactor, so it just gives a little bit more richness. It's the same one like with the 777. It's got a bit more of an orange tinge to it. So we're at flight level 330 now. We are on our way down to TAP, which is in. See, you can see we've got TAP. So 115, 155. Got it all. So anyway, should get it. So for some reason everything is like flickering about. Can't really tell you why. Okay, so on our way to Puru. Yeah, it definitely does enhance the cockpit, 100% RJ, especially with the sun's glare when it comes through. That's another good thing with X-Enviro, with that glare. The glare was always quite nice with, even in X-Plane never without X-Enviro, the glare once it comes through and then hits onto the cockpit textures, usually with a really nice look, but with this it is really, really nice. And I think I know what you're on about, Cardier's RB211 mod. I think I did try to do it about, probably around 2 months ago I think I tried to do it, but something went wrong on it and I think it was when I was experimenting with this cockpit mod, but I'd added another cockpit mod on top of it, and that basically then stopped it working with the old school cockpit like this, and only worked with the upgraded PFDS, whatever it's called. So today I just put that mod in, and hey ho, it worked, which wasn't bad. Here we are today in the 757 on our direct route down to lovely Peru. So you can see we've got some nice views as we leave over. Sun's just start coming in. On for our progress, we're looking to be getting in 22:44. There's currently 21:23, so we are looking around about another hour and a half, as it is a 2 hour and 32-minute flight. Hope you're all looking forward to the weekend. If you've got any plans, do anything exciting, be sure to let us know. Oh, definitely RJ, that'd be a really big help. Thanks, my man. I'll definitely give you a message first thing in the morning, as we're going to get to work on the 757 and do a little bit more. We need to put some more upgrades in it as well. There's another wing texture to go in also on top of that, so tomorrow morning I'll give you a shout and try and put it back in, because I think something what it was doing was when we put it in, it just I don't know, it just wasn't working properly. It just really wasn't working properly. But thanks for the offer, mate, and I'll definitely hit you up in the morning when I get to work on it. So much appreciated, pal. Thank you. Let's get the panel lights and everything going. There we go. So we've got two views. We've got this one, and I've got that one. Now the reason we've got that one, we've got this one, is because that one's a little far away, which I can see normal, but I don't think you guys will see clear. And then we've got that one, which just give you a little bit more. So if we leave it onto that one, then you'll be able to see much more clearer than what's already going on. Right now I've put the bit rate on and everything, but I'm just experimenting with the bit rate at the moment, because I don't want to push it too far, and then next thing you know we've got a collapsed stream. So back to the room view we go. Lovely views on our way to Lima, Peru. Guys, want a history of Lima, Peru. We've got history of Lima. The capital of Peru began with its foundation by Francisco Pizarro on January the 18th, 1535. The city was established on the valley of the Rimac River in an area populated by the Ichma polity. It became the capital of Viceroyalty of Peru and the site of Real Audiencia in 1543. Lima is nestled in an idyllic location in the Rimac and Chillon valleys. That is exactly where we're going tonight. That's great, my man, thanks for that. I've just been experimenting with the bit rates and that. It's just a little bit fuzzy on where it's like just ticking over. But in the coming days, we're going to slowly start raising it a little bit more, just to see what happens, you know. It will just be a little bit more clearer. So it goes a bit clearer after the stream's finished, as it always does. Like the premieres will be rendered, processed. Once they go up on the premiere, it will be 1080/60, but it'll just be a little bit different. Once it's finished and it processes after the premiere's finished, then you find it's a little bit more crisper. So we go like that after the stream's finished. So far, I'm currently having a great time live streaming back again with you guys, as it has been a very long while. I look back on my live streams, because you can separate the live streams to the uploaded videos, and when I checked on the last live stream, it was over a year ago, which definitely was. I can remember doing them near into Christmas about over a year ago. We done a live stream. I've done about 15 or so live streams or something like that, but it was all done well over a year ago. So it's really fun to be back with you guys, because it's getting a bit too much with the premieres and editing, rendering, processing. There's a lot more going on than just the hour flight that you guys see. It takes roughly all day to be able to process that with the final video finished by the end of the day. So, you know, sometimes get it done really quick in some spare time. But live streaming is it's nice for me to be able to interact live with you guys, and if there is a balls up, as we'll call it, you're gonna see it. So I hope you guys do enjoy the stream. There's a lovely wing view. Wing flex is on for the 7.5, it's been nicely updated as well. It actually has been updated really nice, the wing flex. I can actually give it an actual good thumbs up. It is actually much better than it was with its past updates. So we're currently now leaving, going down, we've got Terrace, which is currently around 106 nautical miles to go. On for our times, we're coming in expected for the arrival. On our progress, we are looking at 22:43. Sun should just be starting to come down for us, and we can get in. We've got overcast currently back when we checked the METARs, which was 1200 feet overcast. So the sun should be coming down just at a nice little track. And once we come through the clouds onto that lovely arrival, we should see the glare of the landing lights come through and get down. So 330, let's have a look at our cruise. So I'm not going to bother step climbing it up. So optimum 3.6, but there's no point. No point going to 3.6. Ground speed's 478 anyway, so that's fine. Just leave that there. As we go up now to Lima. So I've got a little bit of tunes on in the background for you guys to set vibes. Got a playlist for you today. Let's see what's going over on the side of the wing. Not too much. The sun's going to start coming down. So yeah, done a little playlist there as well. It's just on shuffle. Just got it in today. Downloaded everything ready for this stream. As I know it's going to be a long one. Flight time's 2 hours 32 minutes. We've got on the FMC 2243 ETA up, we can see 2258. So around about 12 minutes difference between the Fly Live and the FMC's predictions. It should be coming in around just about 5 to 11, which should bring us in for just around about 20 past 6 in the evening. Currently going to fly for an hour and 10 minutes. So we've got currently another hour and 20 to go, and then we will be starting to make our descent down to a lovely Lima. We're coming in for the ILS Zulu runway at 15 with a transition in Lobos, which is our initial approach fix. Anyways, good evening my man, hope you're doing well pal. RJ, you take it easy my man, you have a great evening and a great weekend, and I'm sure I'll see you on the next flight. I'll give you a shout in the morning, and if I have any problems with the RB bond. So see you soon pal, take care. So guys, sit back and enjoy the flight, as we will be coming down within the next hour or so. Coming down for our top of descent, ready to come down into the runway. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, guys. All the support is much appreciated to the channel. Hey, my man. The tune. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll send it over to you. As I think it's one of the music tunes, but it's the instrumental. Fearless. That's it. It's the Fearless instrumental. So put that in Fearless, and it will come up, mate. It's a banger, isn't it, mate? It's a banger. But I thought I'd do a playlist, you know, so we can get some alright tunes in and stay within the copyright limits. If any of them do flag up, then I'll just take them out of the playlist and just mute the ones that do. So, onwards and upwards, eh? Hope you're all having a great evening and maybe ready for us to plant it down in Lima this evening. also want to say a big thanks to everybody that supports the channel. Like, it really doesn't go unnoticed. People that have been here long, short, new, old. I appreciate every single one of your subscriptions to the channel, and I really appreciate you joining the journey as we fly. So thank you very much for being here and supporting the channel for the time that we've been here for. So basically here you can see this sort of like the Seaver in a sort of sense. The Seaver has its wind, it's got the tracking, etc. Position. Let's go to our winds, and then you've got the heading as well. So tracking 184.3 is that? Or 189, that's true. Okay, so been in the air for an hour and 37 minutes. We are expected, we've got 2 hours and 42. Let's have a look at the METARs now as we come down and just see what has happened as we had 1200 foot overcast down in Lima before we came down. Overcast is now 1400 feet, QNH has improved 1014, temperature 17, so temperature is still the same. We've got 5 knot winds from the south, which is 180 at 5. We're coming in for runway 15, and we're going to be coming in for the 155 track. So on the headwind 5, it would just be a +5. So we will have expected overcast. Sun should start to be coming down by the time we come in. As we see on our flight plan, airtime 2 hours 32 minutes. From the block was looking 3:05, so around 15-20 minutes down. On the stand, ready to get out, so 2:42, we're going for 1:37, so we've got around about just over 50 odd minutes flying time left. So it will drop to 230 now for under 5,000 feet. As we can see, once we come down, we're going to come down to 230 for 4,000 above for Vuma and then Lobos. So at 5,000 feet, we've got the speeds restriction in, which will take us down. Then 5,000 feet, we'll slow to 230. Should be all good for us today. having a look down on the arrival, we can have a look at the arrival as well. So on for our arrival. I'm going to follow it all the way down from TAP to Erlo. There's Erlo for our arrival into the star. We'll follow it all the way down to Kalam to the 155 for Lobos, and then we'll follow it all the way down into the runway onto the 155. Missed approach, should imagine we'll then swing a right hand turn back to Salta. We'll then head for the Juliet Charlie 516 to probably then join back on for Lobos if we was to do the go round. So progress 469 from the airport. We're going to be looking to make the descent around about 109 nautical miles or so. So see the weather below. So as we see now, as the sun's starting to go down, we can see that the lovely cockpit textures coming to life with the sun's glare as we come round. Things are going to change a lot, as I did go down into the airport just to have a look, and it was overcast quite a lot. So for when we come in on our arrival, it should be very nice. So our first descent point from Erlo is going to be 230 above. So as soon as we come in, so I don't forget to do it, 230 can go in on the MCP altitude, so then if the aircraft does go to its top of descent, we can then see and get it all in ready to go. So there's our top of descent just past Erlo, which is all ready for us. We'll come up on a descent point when we get closer in. There's TAP, where we're going to the 198 towards Erlo then, which will be all good for us today. So we've got a weather radar as well, which actually does work. .197, which is currently in, which we are going to then track back to, which is 198 to Erlo. Okay, 198. Put max bank to 25. I think it only goes up to 25 on here, so it's got 25, which is set, which is good for us because then we can't go to 30. Okay, so what we're going to do is going to do the forecast now, get the aircraft all ready, see if we can alter these forecasts for the descent. So we'll put down, we've got 200, let's see if we can get 200 in. Put flight level as well. Okay, so can't change any of them, just leave that as B. Top descent's going to be coming down just a few moments. We're at tap, 39 nautical miles away. Then we're going to swing it down to Erlo, which will then take us on to our top of descent. We're going to swing on to the 198, which will take us in. And then we can get ready for the arrival down into a lovely Lima this evening. So not too far away now from our top of descent. We're expected to arrive in 22:15, and as you can see we're expected to come in at 22:59. So we're just around currently 30 odd minutes away. You can see on our distance to go, 261 to Erlo. Over then basically should have 8.2 and end up with 7.7 tons on our fuel. So right now currently 8.6, we're currently hitting tap, we should have 8.4, so we'll keep on with that. Don't know why I started the APU. So 8.4 we should currently have, minus 25, you see we've got nothing in the centre, 4.2, 4.3 over on each left and right. So we'll check that once we get round to tap, 18 nautical miles to go. We'll get that on board and check the fuel then. Should have 8.4 tons from 8.6, so should burn 0.2 from there. Yeah, I turned the APU on, so that's probably why that's there. Need to say 277, we've got the auto 1, landing rate is set to auto as well, which is the little dot. 110, we're coming in on the elevation, I think it's 113, which will be set. We can get all of our VORs, etc., ILSs to come in. So we've got the Jules Chavez, which is the 116.9, Mr. Juliet Charlie Lima. Now we're heading straight down, so 155. Okay, which is so once that does come into view, it will then pop up. So we're leaving tab now. If we turn off the weather radar, you can see we're leaving tab. We'll make that turn onto the 198 back again, and then follow that all the way down to Kalar, where we'll swing for the 155, ready to come in for the INS Zulu 15 approach. Already set the MCP altitude down to 230, just in case I was to forget, so I've just done that. There's the weather radar on, which we can see working in its glory, as we're just going to make that right hand turn now to come straight over. Hope you guys are enjoying the flying. Don't forget to like and subscribe, guys, support the channel and follow us on our journey as I like to bring these flights to you. That's why we're doing the lives now. There's quite a few of you guys requested it, so here we are now doing the live streams, so you can fly with us when we go down to our scenic airports. So tonight's Lima. When we come in, should be a nice approach. It is overcast, so it should bring X-Enviro out as the sun comes down to dawn. So there's the right hand turn now going on to the 198, which is checked. We've got max 25 degrees bank. So right on track now for our top of descent. As you see, we're just over 160 nautical miles away. On our progress, we've just left tap 8.2. We've got 8.4, so we've got an extra 0.2 to spare. Hill roll now will be 8.2 as is predicted, as we're coming in 7.8 now. So we have got a little over. There's 1169, which we've got in on the left. So we're not very far now from our top of descent. We are currently from Urlo, which is practically just there, and we're going to start our top of descent just over 160. So we'll call it around about 180 nautical miles. That's where we're going to come down. We've got the VOR in for the airport, which is coming on the DME1. And then we'll get the ILS and everything all set up accordingly as need be. So check out the runway. So as soon as it's trying to log in, and we'll go in, and 1700 feet is for the 155 coming down. 10.2 DME from the localizer, which will be set. Simmer is then where we're going to start the descent down. So there's the Georges Chavez, which is in. As we lead it down onto the 155 course, which we'll put down into the ILS, which is just right here, which will turn on when we get closer to the airport. So 1097, 1097. Got volume from Cala, max 250, 10,000 above. And once we get nearer to the airport, we'll then get the DME on, which you can see is set to the VOR. Turn it over to the ADF. We had an ADF to put in. Top descent's just in reach. Currently following now onto the 198. So as we're not too far away from our top of descent now, guys, we will start to get the aircraft fully prepared. So we've got our engine anti-ice, which is on. Overcast is going to be coming down. Risk from 1200 feet to 1400 feet. Reset the METARs and have a look now and see what it's saying. 1400 feet overcast, visibility 10 kilometers or more. QNH now is 1013 from 1014, and winds have gone from 5 knots to 7, so 180 now at 7 knots. So still be +5. Dew point's 13. No significant change. Bird hazard runway 15. So it's not going to be very long at all now until we do go into that descent phase. 198 miles until we get to Erlo. We started out on descent 30 nautical miles just before. As we're going for the runway, we'll take auto brake number 2. Landing speeds as we come in. Top descent, as you can see, is 155 nautical miles, which will come into play. Expected 2246. So in another 30 minutes, should be down on the ground. 192 to Erlo, 288 all the way to the runway. Descent now is just in reach. Everything overhead is fine. As now the sun's starting to go down for lovely Puru. So overcast is 1400 feet, so weather's going to change once we do get down near to Lima. 1013 is QNH, so we can leave it as it is. We're already on standard 29902, which is 1013. not too long to our top of descent, guys, and then we'll be getting ready to come down. Should be getting ready to come down within the next 10 to 15 minutes or so. Lovely scenic views as we get ready to come down into Lima. Not too far. As we get ready to come down, we'll program the aircraft ready for our descent. Get the approach checklist and everything all in, and configure the aircraft ready for our arrival. Coming in on the ILS Zulu for 15. We'll intercept for Kamel 155, which will then lead us straight down in. We'll be going for 2,700 feet, where we'll then drop down to 1,700 to intercept for the glide slope in with the localizer. So we'll have everything configured. We're going for an auto brake number 2 when we come down. So it should be a lovely arrival. We've got the landing rating as well for the overlay, so you guys can see what we do tonight. We're going to smash and dash, or we're going to bring her down nice and smooth. We'll find out very soon. So as you can see, we're not too far from our top of descent, not too far at all. As we merely get ready to descend down into our lovely arrival of Lima this evening. We'll cut the music down and then get the aircraft all configured to come in. So as we're not too far away now, there's our top of descent. We're currently situated 57 nautical miles out from the top of descent. Got the 116.9, which will come in once we get a little bit closer into the arrival. As we can start to now lower down, we can see we've got Erlo in, then we've got the Juliet Charlie 601 for the 603, and then there is Kamal, which is going to take us all the way round into that 155 turn, and then we'll hit it from the 157, which will take it down to the 155. There's Lobos. So as we get ready for that top of descent, ready to bring her down into a runway of 15 Lima, down in lovely Puru. Lobos 200 for 3,000. Now what I did want to check just before we do come down, where I altered some of the altitudes for 3,000 for Lobos. So just want to check in on Lobos. Maximum 4, minimum 2,100. 1,023, so we ain't going to be nowhere near the mountains or anything, as we can see the terrain. So 3,000 will be fine for us. Then 4 nautical miles away to 2,001, drop 900 feet down, and be ready to come in. Thanks my man Dope, it's always appreciated pal. Thanks for supporting the channel as well, and to everybody who does. That's the reason why we're live tonight, so I can bring the content live to you, and we can do it together as we get ready to do our maiden flight down into 757-200. So we see Lobos is 200 knots, 3,000, which we manually fixed in. And going back from there, we've got 4,000 above for Vumum, which is going to bring us in. Our top of descent is really within reach now, as we are currently now just passing away through to 30 nautical miles. Put the terrain radar on as well, should pick up some nice terrain. And there's all of our terrain. It's nice to see working navigational displays as well, they do look lovely. So as the Ortho4, as you can see guys, here's Ortho for flight level 230 above. We go into the FMC Ortho 230 above. We then follow it down all the way to the Juliet Charlie 601 and 603 for below 250 and above 180. So we've got 180 down, then 140 above, which is in 603. Coming down for Kalar, max 250, Kalar for 10,000 above, which is checked in, where we then turn for the 155, which will be down for Vumum at max 230, for 4,000 above, which is in. For Lobos, we've changed 4,000 max to 2,100 minimum. We've got 3,000 in for 200, which is going to be in 2,000 and 200 knots for 3,000 feet. Once we pass through down for the arrival, we're going to be taking a 10.2 DME from the localizer. We are going to be at 2,100 feet. We'll then hit the glide slope for 5.2 DME from the localizer at 1,700 feet. Minimum's coming in 246 for a 200 foot decision. So we've already got 200 in, 200 in, which is also set and checked. Top of descent now, currently coming in. Just reaching around 20 miles. As you can see, top of descent 25 miles. So if we have a look on the arrival chart, we shouldn't be too far away. We should be in within reach of Ortho as we come out. If it does show up, if it doesn't, then we know whereabouts we are going anyway. So there's the airport's VOR come in now, which is 153 nautical miles away. So the aircraft isn't going to go into a rapid decel down to 230. Okay, so let's get to it now and get stuck in ready for this lovely arrival. So put the weather in. What we can do is just drop it down a little bit so we can have a look, see if there is anything, which I don't think there is. So there is just a little bit, which is fine. We'll keep the terrain on for now, which is set, passing through 310. We're coming now for 230 above, which will be set, passing through Urlo. Terrain test is just going on as we're going to follow it down to Khmer. There's our terrain coming in. 230 above, which is set. We've got 230, which is set on the MCP altitude, which is also set. The ILS frequency coming down, which will get punched in as soon as we can come near. The ILS frequency coming down, which is the India Juliet Charlie Hotel, which is 109.7. We're coming in on the 155, which is set. As we now get ready to pass down past Urlo, we're going to be leading up now to go down into the star. So seeing as we can't see ourselves on the chart, we might as well just fly it down like this, so you guys can see. You'll get a lovely little wing view quick as we come through. Got some lovely orthos in as we just pass through overland. So overhead now, we can get our seatbelt signs, which are on and checked. Can go and verify the airport's elevation, which is currently 113. We've got 110, which is in as we go up in 10 increments. We stay for 110, which is fine. We've got a 1097, which is in for the ILS, which will pop up once we come near. We've got a VOR for the airport, which is the frequency coming down, which is the 116.9 for the 155, which is the airport's VOR. We're currently 111 nautical miles. We're now coming down to 230 above as we come in. As you can see, we've got lovely mountains everywhere. We've got the orthos in as well. And transition level ATC, so we'll just say 10,000, which is going to be transition level, which will be checked. Coming in, we've got 2,100 feet, which will be 10 DME away from the localizer. And then we'll descend down to 1,700 feet, which will be 5.2 DME from the localizer. We'll start the descent down on the 155. As soon as we are near now, we can go and get our approach coming in. So we'll say currently we've got 73 to 68, so we'll just say 0.5, so we'll say 87.1 if we can change that around. To flaps 30, 130, which is going to give us a 130. So flaps 30, 130. We'll get the METARs down, which is currently 180 at 7, so that can stay at +5, so 130 plus 5, so VREV 30 plus 5 will be 135. As now approaching onto the 196, which is set, so winds are 180. And you see we've got lovely orthos in this evening. So I'll let you guys have a little look at that quickly, as we're going to stay for 230 anyway, so we can get some views of the orthos. Okay, so passing through flight level 240. 23 above, we are coming down for 6 nautical miles away, and we're still going to stay on the 198 all the way till we get to Kalar, which is currently Kalar is the last fix before we then turn to intercept, as we've got the VORs as well, which is 155. You can see the terrain, which is okay, so what we can do is we can put on the weather now, as the terrain's going to be okay for now. Just have a quick look at that, see what it's saying. So right now the weather looks okay, doesn't look too bad. QP, good evening my man, hope you're doing well pal. My PC specs, I've got a 9700K which is 5.2 gigahertz. We've got 16 gig of RAM, which is at 3000 megahertz, and a 1070 Ti. So, for some reason, I don't know why, the VNAV's come out. Put that back in. Oh, you're sending 279 and then 250 for when we get down for colour. We'll switch over the Q&H's as well, the 1013 anyway, so they can stay as they are. So there's 230. I'm going to pass down now and start the descent 180. Then we'll start that descent right down into the airport. So land altitude is in, got the auto 1 with the landing rate as well, which is set. Fasten seatbelt signs are on, get the landing lights on and checked under 10,000 feet. Minimums coming in, we've got 200 foot decision which is set on both sides, and we've got the INS which is the 10970 for the 155. We've also got the VOR in which is for the airport, the 11690, which again is the 155 as we can see, and that is 85 nautical miles away. So, as soon as we leave now, if we don't start our descent, then I'll put it into level change and we'll come down that way. For some reason it jumped out of VNAV. See what it'll do. I can't click it anyway. So, we'll just wait for the next fix, the Juliet Charlie 601. And then we'll see what happens. X-Enviro will take at least probably about 20 FPS away from you, something like that, depending with my specs. With it off, I'll run 60, 55 in the Zebo all day long. As soon as X-Enviro comes in, it'll be running around between 42, 43. So yeah, it will take some performance away from you. So as soon as it's not coming down, we'll go into flight level change if we can. I don't know why the system's bugging. As you can see, flight level change. So that's why. My mistake. So there's a VNAV. We're going to start to come down now. Throttle back. Get the speed brakes open. Forgot to set the MCP altitude back. I was thinking, why is the aircraft levelling off and not coming back to us? So we're going to come down for 10,000 above, which is going to be at Kamal. And then we're going to start our descent down. So 282 holding. As we go on that rapid descent, 3,000 feet per minute, all the way down. Got the speed brakes open. Lovely views. As you can see, that weather coming in. Overcast is at 1,400 feet. As we start that descent down, that rapid descent, passing through 19,007. This was my mistake, I forgot to put the MCP altitude back down, so 10,000 above, which is at Kalar, as we've got the band, as we are going to arrive there. There's vertical deviation as the aircraft's going to now pitch to grab it. 21 nautical miles from Kamal. QNH is 1013, which can stay the same, which is cross-checked over on the first officer's side as well. 297. Of the speed restrictions, obviously 250 for Camille. And then from 10,000 feet, we're going to go to around 4,000 above, which will then, aircraft will pitch up a little, and then we'll start to slow down for that 250. So we'll leave the speed brakes open all the way down, even when we do start to level off, and then we'll slow for 25. We've got a restriction in for the descent, which is going to be 230 under 5,000 feet. So once we come down for 2001, it's 200. So we're going to stay down for 230. It should be all set for us. Temperature outside 0 as it's starting to rise. Lovely views from the X-Enviro tonight. as the overcast weather has been there for the last 3 days or so. I was going to do it 3 days ago, but didn't realise it was a 3-hour flight. So from 3 days ago to now, it's still sort of overcasty weather. The weather hasn't changed too much coming in. So I'll switch the weather on now. It's going to be passing through it anyway. It will gradually start getting closer to us. So we're coming through 14,300 feet now. We'll get our descent checklist and see what we've got ready for our arrival. So, after descent, pressurization, landing, recall, which is checked and clear. Auto brake selector, which is set to number 2. Landing data, VREV is set. We've got VREV 30 plus 5, which is going to give us a 135 on the arrival, which will be set for us. Coming through 13,002, 10,000, switch over the QNHs, they're going to stay the same at 1013. We're going to slow to 250 on our speed, as we're then going to basically make that left-hand turn to go down onto the 155. It's got the 156 in, but the 155 which will track in anyway. So we've got enough time, the aircraft will pitch up a little more, as now it's lowering its descent rate. Then we'll start to slow down to 250 on for our speed, as we get to see some lovely views tonight with X-Enviro. Passing through 11,006. Can open up the speed window if we really wanted to. Okay, so speed brakes are now armed. Just see what the aircraft does. So there's 250, which is in. The aircraft's going to pitch up now, so we can slow down to 25. Has made that left-hand turn now onto the 155. Okay, which is set. Drag be required. We're going down to 250. Aircraft slowing down anyway, which is fine. So overcast at 1400 feet. For the approach, we've got the altimeters which will be checked. The nav aids are set in. We've got the 10970 for the 155. The VOR's in as well for the 155, 52 nautical miles. As we're going to start to slow down now through 10,000 feet, we can get our landing lights on, which are checked. As we get a little glare of the sun coming over onto the cockpit. There's 253. 10,000 above, which will hold. We're going to be descending down. 4,000 now. So obviously we get the call outs 1,000 feet before. We get the little green light when we're just leveled off, but there's no indication that in the 737 you just get the little warning just to say you're 1,000 feet. Okay, so as we come in, we'll get the reserve on as well for the approach. Passing through 9,005, going down to 240 now. So open up the speed brakes. There's that layer. The cloud that we're going to sink into. It's 1,400 feet. We've got the overcast in. Bird hazard for runway 15. Overcast is near 1,400 feet. 17 degrees, plus 9 now. We're going to get ready. Going to keep the engine anti-ice on as we go through the clouds. So I'm going to keep it on under 10 degrees. do is we could take off the engine and put the wing on, so we don't get no ice, if there was to be any, which I highly doubt. So take it off. Yeah. So following the VNAV path now, we've got 4,000 in. We're going to be coming down to Woman 230 at 4,000 feet, currently 40 nautical miles away now, as the aircraft's going to get ready to go into its lovely descent. So there is the glare of the lovely X-Enviro this evening, guys. So take a good look at that before we go down into the arrival. I'll leave you with the wing arrival as well, with the cinematics after the flight's down on the ground. So leave your landing rates in the comment section now, guys, as we're not too far away. We're probably currently around 35 nautical miles in from the runway, so leave your landing rates in the comments and we can get going. Okay, so as we are now coming down through 6,700 feet, the QNHs are still 1013, so we don't need to change them, they can stay on as they are. I was going to get ready to go through that lovely cloud layer and then into the abyss. Lobus is going to be for 203,000 feet, which will be checked. There's the Charlie 1, or the Charlie India 15, which is 2,100 feet, and then we've got 1,700, which is going to be where we level off then to start the descent down. One thing I wanted to have a look at as well before we jump into them clouds, we're coming down for 135, so we'll be looking around about 700 feet per minute on the descent. We've got 200 foot decision height, which is in as well. Passing through 5,009, I'm now going to drop the MCP down to 2,007, which is sat. So I'm not going to flick back through the panels, so now we can watch the aircraft as we go into them lovely clouds. I'm going to get the control column back. I'll bring that over. It says 5,003, and the Lobus is for 3,000 as we currently come in. So we know the weather's a little bit choppy, so I'll put the terrain now, see if there's any terrain around. Speed brake is armed, so there's 230 coming in now, which is setting for 5,000 below. Temperature's 15 out, 17 down in Lima. Got auto brake number 2, which is set, and we can see with the terrain. Terrain's nowhere near around us, that's all. So 25 nautical miles from the airport. Just about to go into the cloud layer, passing through 5,000 feet. Landing lights are on. There's a Charlie India 15. Got 2,700 feet, which we're going to hit by then. 2001. So, cabin crew, do final checks for arrival. So down we come into the overcasty clouds. Ready to have some fun. 200 will be in for Lobus. If not, we can get that down in anyway. So there's Lobus coming down. There's 220 in. I was going to start slowing the aircraft down. 135 coming in, flaps 30. And as the arrival states, 10.2 DME, it's 5.2 for the glide slope. localizers in anyway, realistically. Currently standing around about 650 a minute. Everything else is set. We've got landing lights which are on, anti-ice is off. As we said, landing altitude is all set and checked. Auto 1 for the auto rate. Got 4,000. We're coming down for 2,700 feet. Currently on the 155, which is our final approach track. As we're about to dip in. And once we dip into these clouds, the lovely sun and sky blue sunset, there will be no more. Okay, so into the clouds we go, 3,600 feet. So you can see the winds now coming in, getting a little bit choppy. Go down to our flaps up now. And down for 2001. Then we've got 1007 which will be in. Can let the localizer run down. And we can actually get the approach in. We're just going to follow down anyway. Got a VNAV path still set, which will level off for 1700. We've got 2001 at the Charlie India 15. And then by the time we get down to Summa, we should be then starting to make our descent down, which will be a 5.2. So 10 DME will be for the Charlie India, and 5.2 or 5.6 is that start of our glide slope. Aircraft is fully configured and set for landing. Got auto brake set for number 2. You can see the localizer is locked in. As we're currently just at our flaps up speed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop down to a flaps 5. Okay. So flaps 1's just coming in now. As we start this descent for 1,700 feet. So cabin crew, take your seats for arrival. Speed brake is armed. Coming down to our flaps 5 setting, which is in.
500. Minimums. 100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Hey Shot, good evening my man, hope you're doing well pal. Hope you're having a great evening. I'm just turning to stand now. Hope you guys enjoyed the arrival as we came in. We'll park up and then you guys can take a look at the landing cinematics as we come down onto the runway. We'll take this right, left. Blind everyone in the departures lounge. So you can see the 757's brakes are pretty sharp. Okay, so we'll pop her in, which should be fine for us. We haven't got the APU started, so I'm not going to shut the engines down. but I will leave you with the landing cinematics now, guys. So thank you all for joining me this evening as we made our trip from Colombia down to Peru in Lima, and we made an okay landing. Let me know what you thought in the comment section down below, and I'll see you all again very soon for the next available flight on the channel. So take care for now, guys, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.
turn us to thousands, and we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands, and on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays, and on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
So that's it for our flight now tonight, guys. I hope you all had fun and enjoyed the arrival in. Don't forget to like and subscribe and leave your comments down below, and I'll see you all again on the next available flight. Take care for now, guys. Bye bye.